A crafty con man once sold the Eiffel Tower twice, and he didn't just stick a for sale sign on it. He actually made a ton of money from that sneaky deal. Stick around because this story will leave you astounded by the sheer audacity and cunning of one of history's greatest con artists. But first, can you guess the name of the engineer whose company designed and built the Eiffel Tower? As usual, here's a bit of a clue. His name is eponymous with the tower's name, and he also built the Statue of Liberty's metal framework. Is it Alexandre Gustave Eiffel, Anthony Gaudi, or Henri Labrouste? The first clue gave it away, didn't it? Well, if you guessed Alexandre Gustave Eiffel, pat yourself on the back cause you're correct. Now the City of Light is a tourist magnet with many thrilling attractions. But as the symbol of France, the Eiffel Tower is the most visited paid monument in the world. This might explain why the con man in today's story was able to pull off the devious heist. In 1925, Victor Lustig, one of history's most notorious con artists, arrived in Paris with a grand scheme in mind, targeting the Eiffel Tower. At that time, the Eiffel Tower, which had been built for the 1889 World's Fair, was relatively unpopular among Parisians and required substantial maintenance. Sensing an opportunity, Lustig concocted a plan to sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal. He forged official-looking documents complete with a government insignia and posed as a high-ranking French official. He invited a group of scrap metal dealers to a confidential meeting at the luxurious Hôtel de Crillon. At this meeting, Lustig explained that the maintenance costs for the Eiffel Tower were too high, and the government had decided to dismantle it and sell it for scrap. The dealers were instructed to keep this information confidential due to its sensitive nature. Among the scrap dealers was André Poisson, who was particularly eager to establish himself in the competitive Parisian business world. Lustig, with his impeccable manners and convincing documentation, managed to persuade Poisson to pay 70,000 francs, a substantial sum at the time, for the rights to the Eiffel Tower's metal. After receiving the payment, Lustig swiftly fled to Austria. Embarrassed by his gullibility, Poisson chose not to report the scam to the authorities, fearing public humiliation. Lustig monitored the Parisian newspapers closely, and when he noticed that there was no mention of his con, he decided to attempt the scam again. Imagine the nerve. Returning to Paris, Lustig repeated his ruse, once more posing as a government official and inviting a new group of scrap metal dealers to the Hôtel de Crillon. However, this time, one of the dealers grew suspicious and contacted the police. Before the authorities could apprehend him, Lustig fled to the United States where he continued his criminal activities. Lustig's criminal career eventually caught up with him. He was eventually arrested by federal agents in the United States for counterfeiting and was eventually sentenced to 20 years in Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. Do you know any other tale about the Eiffel Tower? Or is there a legend or myth you'd like us to cover in a future video? Let's chat in the comments. Hey, did you know that Amsterdam is divided by canals into approximately 90 islands, joined by around 400 bridges? There's so much more to this European traveler's gem. I'll leave a link in the description to our Amsterdam video for you to enjoy. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and until next time, keep discovering and exploring, and we'll see you in the next one.